Welcome to Batman Knightfall, and today we're starting this huge storyline that DC released in the 90s, right? It was the storyline where Batman got his back broken by one of the best Batman rogues, Bane. Now, Bane was introduced in this storyline. We actually went over his origin on this channel in the last Knightfall video, and I'll actually link that down below in the description. It's pretty much the Batman Vengeance of Bane comic. It's a one-shot, but it's a very long one-shot that explains who Bane is and why he hates Batman, why he wants vengeance against Batman. Now, here what we're going to see is what is Bane's plan. What is Bane going to do to get Batman so run down that when they actually meet, Bane can just toss him around and then break his back? How does it lead it to that point? And how does all these different villains like the Joker and Mad Hatter get involved in this? Well, we're going to find out about that today in this video as we cover Batman number 491 through 492. We begin at the police headquarters in Gotham City, and Bullock, as he eats some pizza, says, "It's like an ordnance inventory for World War III, commish. Automatic assault rifles, anti-personnel mines, mortars, heavy machine guns, fragmentation grenades, and even a few crates of shoulder-launched Stinger missiles." And then Commissioner Gordon responds, "And the only bright side is that no one was hurt." That's when Renee Montoya walks in. She says, "Not after the armory guards ran away from their UFO monster, but something tells me there's still a body count to come." And then the commish says, "Then you think those munitions were stolen for domestic use, Montoya?" And Montoya says, "With that MO, Commissioner, I don't know what to think. But one thing's ready for the bank. That was a whole truckload of mighty exotic weaponry, and that right now it's loose on our streets." And the commish says, "Yes, but in whose hands?" Now we find out it's actually Bane and his pretty much henchmen or his partners that stole all these weapons, right? All these weapons, they actually invaded this one place and just actually sieged it a little bit, broke the door down, and took all the weapons. Now Bane has this map. It's a map of Arkham Asylum, and Bane says, "We start by hitting the violent wards here at the center of the roundhouse, and we follow with a hit on main security. Here, the first hit will be relatively light, just enough to breach the roof and a few of the cells, but the second hit will be heavy, taking out security and sealing the corridor between administration and inmates." Now, that's when Zombie says, "We've certainly got the firepower for it." And Bane says, "But which cell do we open first? Who can lead the others, inspire them with his own violence and madness?" Now Bird responds, "I think I may have a suggestion, Bane," and believe me, he's a real riot, and we see a picture of Joker. So they're going to break out Joker out of Arkham Asylum. This is not gonna go well. Now, we continue, and what we see next is Jeremiah Arkham. He's in Arkham Asylum, he's in his office, and he's the only person in Arkham Asylum who isn't insane, and he's trying to find out, like, is it simply a madhouse? Is this place a madhouse, or is it actually a place to help people? And if you're the only guy who's not insane here, are you sane, or are you merely the king of the mad? He's pondering all these situations, and that's when we see Bane. He has goggles. He's looking at Joker's cell, and he says, "You're certain that's a cell?" And Bird says, "Positive, Bane. Third unit in the violent ward. Got it from the same former guard we paid off to acquire the blueprints. And even if the shot's not perfect, you're bound to breach one of the violent cells." And Bane says, "I'll make it perfect." Now Trog gets the Bird ready, puts a balloon on it, and Bird sends his bird off. And Bird says to Bane, "Now, Bane," and Bane shoots you at a crack and hits the balloon, and you have bam, the whole we see this big bomb drop on the cell. You have bakum, and the cell is open. Now Jeremiah hears this from his office. He says, "What the? Oh no, order lies!" And that's when we see Joker. His cell's broken, and he gets up. He says, "The sky is falling. Yes, yes!" Then we see Jeremiah, and Jeremiah, he starts running to the door. He says, "Hurry!" Now it's a Joker. He gets out a gun. He says, "Hello, guard. Goodbye, mate." And he shoots you out, shoom. Now Bane outside shoots again. You have zoosh, and then at Kroom, he opens up more cells. All these cellmates get blasted out of their cells. Now Joker talks. He says, "Open sesame, because it's time for the inmates to run this asylum. Besides, we may need the space for our new patient." And he starts to laugh. Now, that's when he actually opens all the doors and all these different villains come out, including Maxi Zeus. Now, that's when you see Joker. He runs out, he starts shooting guards. You're a choom, and he laughs. He says, "Free, you're all free." Now all these guards start to die, and outside we see Bird. He says to Bane, "Okay, Bane, Zombie and Trog are lifting off in the chopper." You see the chopper going up, but that's when Bane shoots again. You're a kakroom. And Joker comes upon Jeremiah Arkham. He says, "Greetings, Jeremiah Arkham, and welcome to the madhouse. Your cell awaits." Outside in the chopper, you see Zombie. He says, "They're coming out into the yard, Trog. Drop the presents." Now Trog says, "Crate's going out now." Now he dumps the crates, you're a scrap, and the crates fall down. It makes a big explosion, you're a crash, and all these cellmates come out. These prisoners, they say, "Guns!" That's when we hear Zombie in the chopper. He says, "Zombie to Bane, presents delivered." Now Bane says, "But the state police have arrived, entering the grounds now. Still, it should be a fair fight. It'll be more fair than fair." And he looks down. Zombie actually questions, like, "Will this actually be a fair fight?" And Bane's like, "Nope." And we see all these prisoners. They start shooting here, and they start shooting all these different police officers as they try to fight back. Now Jeremiah Arkham looks out of his cell and he's frightened. Now Joker says, "Someone regards your new security with contempt, Jeremiah Arkham. Someone finds amusement in the notion of madness, boiling and scampering from these walls. But now, shall we talk?" And that's what we see outside at the rooftop in Gotham. And Bullock says to Commissioner Gordon, "He ain't shown yet, huh, Commish?" And the Commish says, "Not yet, Bullock, but you sent the tactical units to back up the state police." And Bullock says, "On the way." And then Bullock continues, "And our new mayor unfortunately requests your pleasure at his mansion now. You see the bat signal in the sky, but Batman isn't there." And the Commish says, "Figures. Probably about the armory theft. All those weapons in the hands of lunatics." And Bullock says, "It sure ain't about the new color scheme for his office." And the Commish responds, "Alright, shut off the signal, Bullock." And Bullock says, "Giving up on the Batman, Commish." And Gordon responds, "With any luck, he's already heard about the Arkham riots. Halfway there by now." Now we see Robin, and he hears a dee, and we see Batman calls in. And Batman says that, okay, he's going to Arkham, he's going to deal with this. But Robin says to him, "You're barely out of bed, you're sick still." But Batman says, "Over and out." He leaves, and he actually goes out in a bat plane. Now we go back to Arkham Asylum, and Joker says to Jeremiah, "In place of our madness, Jeremiah, you gave us restraint and called it a product of your insanity. But how sane do you feel now, Jeremiah? Now that you're restrained." He starts to laugh. Now outside, we see Batman, his bat plane shows up, he jumps down, and everyone notices him, the police, and Bane says, "He's here, but he'll never stop them." Bird says, "Don't be so sure, Bane. I've seen the Batman pull off some mighty," and Bane says, "Your Gotham expertise is appreciated, Bird, but I know this man. I have been close to him. I have smelled what he is. Even if he could stop them, he won't. He will choose the saving of lives over the apprehension of killers." Batman shows him, he sees police officers dead, and he says, "Dead." Now Bane says he always does, and as for the police, they never had a chance. The police show up. Now they say, "Who are the hostages?" There's not many hostages left, but Bullock tells them, well, that means that Jeremiah is inside alone with the Joker. And the other police officers say, "The Joker? Then God help him." Now it's a Joker with Jeremiah says, "All your new security, Jeremiah, breached like a wet paper bag. All your hard work undone in a twinkling of frenzy." I like the word twinkling, don't you? Were you hard to potty train, Jeremiah? Doesn't matter, because everything you trained for, everything you accomplished is shattered, just like your mind right now, Jeremiah, shattered. Now, outside, the police officer says to one of the other ones, he says, how'd they get out into the yard? What happened to the wall? And the other police officer says, nearest we can figure, some kind of smart missiles. And they say, missiles? But who the... Now we see outside all these villains, Two-Face included, start shooting even more, killing more police officers. You're brada, coom, blam, blam. Now, at the mayor's home, the commissioner says, we don't know, but obviously someone a lot better equipped than Saddam Hussein already dispatched 5 of our tactical units, Mr. Mayor, to assist the state of police on the scene. But with the hostage situation, I don't know what any cop could. And the mayor says, I certainly hope they've been told to shoot to kill. And Gordon says, it doesn't work like that way, Mayor Kroll. My men discharge their firearms only to defend themselves or others. And the mayor says, then you're going to have a lot of dead men, Gordon. Something I do not want during my administration. I ran on a law and order platform, and now that I've been elected, I'm now about to abandon everything I stand for. And Gordon says, you ran unopposed. And the mayor says, even more proof of my mandate. And Gordon says, proof of your machine. Now we see Batman on the inside of Arkham Asylum. We see his doctors inside, and they're under a table. They're about to be killed by these other inmates. Now I hear a boom, and Batman shows up. He smacks these prisoners in the face. You're a waka chuck. And then he kicks another one in the knee. You're a truth. He smacks one in the face with a big punch. You're a whack. Now, that's when Batman says to them, take the weapons and stay here. I'll lock you in. So Batman locks these doctors in to keep them safe. Now Joker with Jeremiah says, you beat up security, and what did you get? Ha! The BVS Breakout of Madness, Arkham's history. And Jeremiah listens, and Joker says, and so your own madness will break out, Jeremiah, right out of your shattered skull, just as soon as those knees weaken. But you'll enjoy the freedom of madness, Jeremiah, trust me. Madness is the only freedom, and all the madness, once restrained under your strict control, will soon be free to run wild. And he laughs. Now Batman opens the cell. You check. The cell opens. And outside, we see Zombie shooting. All the crew of Bear shooting. And Zombie says, time to end it. Get them out of here. Now. Now Bane shoots you out. Shoosh. And then they keep shooting you out. Ba, boom, ba, cool, boom. And then all the cellmates are free. They say, free! And they keep shooting you out. Brada, and then shoom. Inside, Batman looks at Jeremiah. And Batman says, the Joker. And Jeremiah says, gone crazy. Help me, can't stand anymore. Batman gets out his battery and throws it, freeing Jeremiah. But he loses his chance to stop the Joker. The Joker gets out of his cell and he laughs. Now, Batman walks out. He sees all his cellmates free. And the only person inside that he actually got and who's going to be in prison now is Jeremiah. And Jeremiah says, free, I'm free. And then, that's when we see Bullock with Commissioner Gordon. Bullock says, it was safer on the inside, Commish. All the hostages safe, but 17 men down the outside, 6 of them ours, none of them inmates. They're all loose, running wild like a pack of mad dogs. Now Commissioner says, then God help us, but maybe Crow was right, and now we have to find out who did it. Now Bane looks down with his goggles. He says, if I didn't want his blood so badly, I would almost pay him. And Batman, seeing all his villains free, just screams in agony. We see Batman and Robin. They look at a list of all the different villains that escaped. You see the Riddler, the Joker, Two-Face, Ventriloquist, Zaz, Cornelius Stirk, Poison Ivy, Mad Hatter, Maxie Zeus, Killer Croc, Scarecrow, and much more. And Batman says, all of them and more, running free in the dark, heavily armed, terminally dangerous. And Robin says, not good. And Batman responds, but who did this to me? Who broke them out of Arkham? Now Robin says, my guess is the brew I told you about. The one who busted up Killer Croc. Called himself Bane. And he's definitely got it in for you. And Robin continues, yes, the one I confronted in the Macklin Brothers hideouts. Now Batman and Robin get in the Batmobile, and Batman says, come on. If we can't find the devil himself, his prodigy are legion enough. Now he's the Mad Hatter, he's out, he's escaped Arkham, and he's just driving around this building multiple times. Now, Bird, one of Bane's partners, is watching him. He's confused. He's like, why is Mad Hatter driving around so many times? Then, Bird's Vulture, who's watching Mad Hatter, is caught by Mad Hatter's monkey, guys. The ape. The ape catches the bird and shows the Mad Hatter. And Mad Hatter says, Oh, it's a falcon, my dear. Hardly indigenous to Gotham. Must be someone's pets. Someone who's apparently watching us, and who we may wish to watch in the future. Now they drive off and put a tracking device on the bird. The bird goes back to Bird, and Bird looks out. He's like, well, at least Mad Hatter's doing some stuff. And we see Mad Hatter with his ape. They break into this one shop, and you hear a scream in that broad cush as they shoot the window open. And the alarms go off. You hear a beep, 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 and Mad Hatter walks in. He says, "You grab my hats, my dear." And the monkey, the ape, just starts saying, "Ooh, ah." And then Mad Hatter says, "I'll leave them invitation." And then we hear on the alarms, the police alarms, it says, "Report of an alarm. A possible break-in at a store." And Robin and Batman get the alarm as they're driving the Batmobile. And Robin says, "Okay, I'll bite. What's a haberdasher? Ooh, yeah." And then Batman says, "Fancy name for a place where they sell hats." And Robin says, "Uh-oh." So they figure out that the place that Mad Hatter actually, destroyed, he actually broke into, is a place that sells hats. So it makes sense. Now, Batman says, "Yes, and let's beat the police to the scene." He hits turbo, and the Batmobile drives off super fast. You're a broom, and a newspaper falls to the ground. Now, Bullock is talking to Renee Montoya. He says, 9 random freakouts already resulted in 6 deaths with no rhyme or reason, no connection to motives, and nothing, Montoya. Compare this stink." And Montoya says, "It's bad, alright, but given this list, Bullock, maybe we're lucky there have only been 9 incidents so far." And Bullock says, "You're forgetting it's only getting worse from here." He gets a donut, he eats it, you're splut. And Bullock says the commission's already under heavy pressure from Mayor Kroll to wrap the whole thing up like a tiny miracle yesterday. But you know, if we could figure out who busted him from Arkham and why, maybe we could collar him all at once. But what kind of plan or crime would require the escape with so many lunatics? And Montoya says, "Maybe there is no plan, Bullock." And Bullock says, "You thinking someone sprung him from the sheer hell of it, Montoya?" Montoya responds, or at most a smokescreen, to distract us while something else goes down. And Bullock says, "And this bad, babe, wicked bad, cause either way, I mean dealing with random lunacy, the kind of stuff detective school can't teach. Crimes without motive, crimes no cop can anticipate, and almost impossible to crack." And Montoya says, "Can't be Hill Street every day." And that's when we have Veep Veep as Batman gets in to the store. And Robin says, "That's some kind of invitation card." Batman looks at it, he says, "Yes, to T." And he reads it, he says, "Jervis Tech wants us." He says he wants us to be guests of honor at his latest celebration of madness. They get in the Batmobile, and Batman says, "It's not polite to be late." They drive off, you're a vroom, and the police show up, you're a screech. Now the Mad Hatter at his hideout says, "Here you go, my dear, the last hat is gone. Arrange them in your places, will you?" And that's when the monkey gets the different hats and arranges them. Now we see in the news, 9 separate cases, 9 different crimes going all at once, causing Batman and the police to go they're all over the place, and Bane watches, and he's happy about this. It's all going according to plan. Now, as we see Batman show up to this whole, it's a deserted place, right? We got a couple trees, not a lot around here, and that's what the Mad Hatter is. And Batman says, "Only 5 more miles to 10 Isle Estates. Want me to call Gordon?" And that's what Batman says, "Never mind, no police. There may be enough bullets flying as it is, and I don't want any stunts from you either." That's when Robin says, "Hey, I'm cool, just tell me what you want." And Batman says, "There may be other guests at this tea party, and they may still be heavily armed. You strictly backup." And that's when Batman says, "Reset me all you want, but don't forget it." And Robin says, "But," and that's when the Batmobile drives off even farther, you're boom, and the Mad Hatter sits at his table and says, "Welcome, welcome, one and all. Apologies for marking you. Leave your weapons at the gates, but they'll be returned should the police arrive before our guest of honor. Right now, if you would be good enough to don the party hats at your place, saying our festivities may commence." And now a man says, "This is stupid, Hatter. I don't wear a hat for nobody." And another man says, "Yeah, when you invite us to your party after the breakout, you said we could kill the Batman. So where is he? What's wearing hats got to do with it?" And Mad Hatter gets out a gun, points it at them, and says, put on the hats. Now, that's when Mad Hatter, they all sit down and watches them. Mad Hatter says, that's better, my dear. And the monkey claps. Yeah, clap, clap. And Mad Hatter gets his gun out still as they stand at the table. And Mad Hatter says, and since my computerized hat transmissions are now voice activated, it remains only to say, hats induce trance. Yeah, ping ping. And now all these men are under his control. Mad Hatter says, the hat band circuitry works perfectly, my dear, surrounding their skulls with signals that alter their alpha brainwaves, making them biological robots, zombies, and obedient to the whims of my voice, transmitted through my hat to theirs. Too bad the Joker, Two-Face, Scarecrow, and the others failed to accept my invitation. But then, their ilk might have tried to spoil the party. And in any case, Film Freak, I am glad you accepted the invitation because I'm going to delegate our first item of business to you. Someone sprung us from Arkham for a purpose, Film Freak. Someone wants to use us like puppets, steal my snick, and that's someone I'm convinced has been watching me. You're going to use this homing device to turn the tables. Also, here's an overcoat and a gun. He gives a coat to the Film Freak, and the Film Freak puts it on. Now, Mad Hatter says, be whoever you want to be. Luca Brasi and the Godfather, Charles Bronson and Death Wish, Joel Cairo and the Maltese Falcon. I don't care. Just go back to the safe. Kill whoever belongs to the bird. Got it? And the Film Freak says, got it. Now, Mad Hatter says, now, the rest of you be seated. A spa of tea will pass the time while we await our guest of honor. Now we see Batman drives up, and Batman says, Raymond Tenniel died years ago, willing his estate to be converted to public gardens. Now, Robin says, right now the grounds are closed for the season. You hear a screech. They get over the gates, and Robin says, and Mad Hatter is using the place because, and Batman says, because Sir John Tenniel illustrated Lewis Carroll's Wonderland stories, and because madness knows no season, and then he starts to cry, says, ugh, and Robin says, hey, you're alright, maybe we shouldn't, and Batman says, I'm fine. Now we go back to Bird. Bird says to Bane, we got big trouble, Bane. Some kind of homing device. It was on Talon's leg, but how it could have, and Bane says, give it to me. He takes the device and crunches it. You hear a crunch. Now, that's what Zombie says. Someone down the street, casing the hotel, some kind of electronic device in his hands. Now, Bird says, let me see. We see the Film Freak. He's outside. He says, homing signal just cut out, Hatter, at North Point and 9th. Now, Mad Hatter listens, and Film Freak continues. There's a hotel here. I'm going to try a service entrance in the alley. Now, Mad Hatter says, you do that, freaky boy. Anyone for more tea? And the monkey just starts to laugh, and we see Batman shows up. Now, and Mad Hatter drops his tea. You're a cush, and the monkey is frightened. Now, back at Bane's hotel, Bird says, it's one of the Arkham inmates. Alright, the one called Film Freak, heading for the alley. Now we go to Batman. Batman from Mad Hatter says, don't make a move, Hatter. And Mad Hatter says, aha, our guest of honor at last. Now, Bane in the hotel says, stay here while I kill him. He puts venom in, he gets extra strong. Now, Mad Hatter back says to Batman, sit down, Batman, have a cup of tea. Now, Batman says, what's your game this time, Hatter? Who is this Bane? What's he after? And why are you helping him? Now, we still see Film Freak. He says, it's locked, Hatter, and Bane's behind him. Now, Mad Hatter listens. I may have to just watch the front entrance. Now, that's when Batman says to Mad Hatter, transmitter and receiver in your hat, but who's using it? And Mad Hatter says, oh, just Film Freak, reporting on Gotham's nightlife. And Batman says, also part of Bane's plan. And Mad Hatter says, that's the second time you mentioned that name, but in reply, I can only say. And then Film Freak says, who's Bane? And that's when Bane shows up. Now, that's when Mad Hatter hears, Bane. Batman is shocked. Now, Bane punches Film Freak in the face, and Bane says, I am your killer, and you are dead. Now, Batman says, his voice, the same, that it is him, and Mad Hatter says, hats stimulate adrenaline cortex, and we see all these men get up, you hear a ping, and they go to shoot at these trash cans, you hear a spraying, and now bram. Now, that's when Mad Hatter says, you want to kill the Batman, and here's your chance. He pushes Batman into the different men, and that's when Mad Hatter says, party hardy, and he starts to run away. The men start to fight Batman, and Robin thinks, in the Batmobile, So how long does a backup hold back? And you hear a squawk, a cush. They start to shoot at Batman. You hear a bram bram. Back at the hotel, a trash can is thrown at Film Freak. You hear a blang, and then a comp as Bane punches Film Freak in the face. Now Batman kicks these different men at Mad Hatter's tea party in the face, and you hear a cut, and then Chuck, he takes them down. Now Robin gets out of the Batmobile. He thinks, the Hatter, going for that machine gun, which means I've held back long enough. Now, we see the Film Freak on the ground. You hear a crack. He screams as Bane puts his hand behind his back. Now, Robin shows that he says, Hatter. He hits Mad Hatter in the back. You hear a shump in there brash as Mad Hatter shoots the sky. And then the monkey hits the top of Robin. Robin says, what the? And Mad Hatter says, thank you, my dear. And Mad Hatter says to Robin, the perfect receipt in which to finally finish off the, yeah, brada. That's when Robin throws the monkey at one of the men. And Mad Hatter looses his gun when Batman throws a batarang. You hear a crack. Now Bane has the Film Freak in his hands. He says, dead. They smacks his head, headbutts the Film Freak many times until he's super dead. And you hear a catch. That's when we see Batman and Robin teaming up, hitting all these men, taking them down. Batman says, they're controlled by the hats, and the man behind them say, gotcha. They try to take down Robin, but Robin takes out a stick and hits this man in the head, taking him out. You're a cup in that top and a shrub. They keep taking out different men, and Mad Hatter gets his gun. Batman slams these two men's head into each other. You're a punch. Now, we go back to Bane with the Film Freak. He kicks the Film Freak in the face. He's like really killing him. You're a punch. Now we see Batman. He smacks Mad Hatter in the face. You're a scop. And Mad Hatter's hat falls to the ground. Bane holds the Film Freak, in a naked choke. The Film Freak screams, and you hear it from the hats. Now, Bane throws the Film Freak into a trash can, and Bane says, you're garbage, and you're dead, just like the Batman. Now, Robin says to Batman, he's wrong. We'll get him. I know we will. Hey, you're not ticked, are you? It was only one gun, but pointing at your back. Now, Batman says, I saw it. 2 down, Mad Hatter and the Film Freak. And Robin says, yeah, and only the rest of the Madhouse to go. And Batman says, plus Bane. So they took down the Mad Hatter, but Bane's still out there. And Batman is slowly fading away. He's getting weaker by the nights. So yeah, guys, that was Batman Knightfall Part 1. So actually, issue number 491 was a prelude in a way, because we saw Bane break out all those inmates, which was a great issue. I really liked it. Seeing the Joker have Jeremiah Arkham in captivity and Joker just messing with him was really great. I really liked that a lot. And then see Batman show up. He's a little sick, he's weak, but he still fights. He still pretty much pushes on, and see him take down all these different inmates, but they still get away, and Batman is just in agony. It really started off this whole storyline on a great note. Bane is a great villain, guys. And I also like his partners, like Trog, Zombie, and Bird. Like, they all work together very well, and to see him come up with like this plan to take Joker out of Arkham Asylum and have him be like the Riot was really smart. Now, the end of issue number 491 just set it all up. Like, all the different villains are out, Batman has to deal with them, but then he has to deal with Bane next. So it's just all set up to make Batman weaker and weaker until he's finally done. Now, going into 492, seeing like the Mad Hatter, I really like the Mad Hatter. He's a great villain, and see him have his monkey break into this hat shop, and then have Batman show up. That was really cool. I like that. And seeing Mad Hatter try and mess with these different men, and then send like Film Freak out to take down Bane, whoever's watching them, was interesting. Now, that whole fight between Bane and Film Freak was kinda like messed up. It was very violent, seeing Bane like just headbutt him multiple times, throw this guy in the trash cans, kick him in the face. Like, Bane killed him. He literally killed him. I'm thinking, like, how would Film Freak survive that? Bane hit him so many times and literally bashed his head into his. And Bane's strong. Seeing Bane just display all his skill, all his smarts in 2 issues just proves how great of a villain he is, and how great of a writer Doug Moick is, because the writer in this issue, these 2 issues, does a great job of setting up this big storyline and showing how great of a villain Bane is, while also paying respect to Batman's other rogues. Now, Batman, he's slowly fading, guys, but also like Robin being along for the ride. Seeing Robin get stick out and just beat the crap out of different men, like enemies, was cool. But the end of the issue, it just shows that it brings it all together. It brings these 2 issues together, as Batman he's tired, guys, and he knows that he has all the Madhouse to go, and Bane. But will he make it through? Well, we'll see you in the next video, guys, as we cover issue number 493, and we may cover issue number 494 as well in that video. If this video does really good, if you guys like it a lot, guys, if you guys give it a like, alright? Give it a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you miss my next Knightfall video. Because the more likes this video gets, the more issues I'll cover in the next video. So from now on, guys, I'll be doing Knightfall, Batman Knightfall, every Monday. Because I know this is what people have been wanting it. There's been a couple of you guys who've been wanting this for a long time. I've just been getting sidetracked with other different series like the Flash, the May Batman series, and I haven't gotten to this. But now that we've actually started this, we can do it every Monday. I'm excited. But yeah, guys, overall, I'm going to give these two issues, the start of Batman Knightfall, an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's solid. I recommend it, and I hope you guys enjoyed, alright? But yeah, guys, I guess there's nothing left for me to say, but thanks for watching, and peace out.